What is up, Killer Collective? Mount Killer here, bringing you a surprise box kind of video today. That's right, we're going to crack these bad boys open, as well as talk about how to recognize your value, right? Self-worth, recognizing the value that you bring in life. I think it's a super important topic. It can be a really tough thing, right? Life can beat you down. People can bring you down, and it can make it really hard to believe that you're valuable, that you have worth in this life. And so I think it's super important. We're going to talk about that. Crack into these boxes. Stick around. Let's see what we get. Gosse Fleur. Oh!
I knew there was.
Oh! Oh, no way, dude. I'm going to stay with you, Eric, so Stephen can't kill us. Let's fucking go. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking. It's Monday. Don't forget to grab this week by the cloister. That's all I'm going to say about that. You guys know by now, if you watch enough Monday videos, I'm all about making this week the best it can be. Grab it by the cloister. Show it who's boss. Like, let's make it happen. No one's going to make it happen for you. Make it happen for yourself. And shout out to Pokemon Center. They've been restocking. You can tell the printers are getting cranked up, baby. It's cooking. Everything's cooking. They're going to print every set into the ground. Things are going to heal. Then everyone's going to bitch about how there's too much product and there's no value. Like, it's coming. Just wait. It might take a little while. It's going to happen. Start cracking these boxes open while we talk about how to recognize your value. Like I said, it's super important. There's a lot of things in life that can bring you down, can make you question your value, question your self-worth. And, some people it's so ingrained in them that they're not valuable. And it really makes me sad. Like, this all stemmed from a conversation I had with a friend. They were talking about, you could just tell, right? They kept saying, well, I'm not smart, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I said, you know what? Hold it right there. Like, I can tell by talking to you, you're intelligent, you're emotionally self-aware. Like, stop. Just stop. Stop beating yourself down. It doesn't work on me. I see right through that crap. Like, you have value. You're important. Just you need to recognize that. I have a feeling that you're not being told that enough, and I'm going to be the one to tell you. Like that, and I will tell all of you the same thing. So don't let the world or life or the shit or anything bring you down and make you think you're not valuable. Please, please, please. All right, let's see what promos we got in these surprise boxes real quick. We got Espeon in this one. Should have opened them both with a knife at the same time, dum-dum. It's been kind of hard to come up with the Monday topics because I try to base it on something that I'm feeling, right? But I'm actually in a much better place emotionally, so I'm not really feeling too shitty all the time. And so I have to reach back for something that I maybe was feeling in the past. We got the Jolteon on this one. Shout out to Pokemon for making these stupid boxes that nobody wants. But it's storage! Storage for what, dude? Any decent cards are going to go in a binder. What, for my bulk? Thanks. How about you just make a tiny little box and fit all this in there and stop making waste, Pokemon? All right, so we got Jolteon, we got Espeon. Let me know down in the comments, who do you think is going to win? We're going to have a little evolution battle here. All right, so value, right? Self-worth. It's just the internal sense of worth without external validation. So it's like knowing your own value without somebody having to tell you, right? Makes sense, pretty clear. There's an old saying that says you have to value yourself before you can expect anyone else to. And I truly believe that's true. If you show the world that you don't value yourself, people pick up on that, right? They're going to notice, and they're going to be like, oh, I can take advantage of this person. There's a lot of predators out there, and they intentionally target people who have self-worth issues or have, certain things going on mentally or emotionally that they can target and they can abuse. And I'm not just talking about like sexual predators or anything like that. I'm talking about just emotional predators, right? Maybe there's a guy who only wants to go after damaged girls because he knows he can control them. Or maybe there's a woman who knows that there's a guy who maybe hasn't had a great luck with women in life, so she can milk this dude for all he's worth. Or a boss who can take advantage of an employee who doesn't know their value. And so this can really be a huge negative effect on your life. And humans are just naturally intuitive when it comes to emotional stuff, right? You can spend a short amount of time with somebody and you can feel those things. You can tell instantly, like, oh, this person doesn't realize their value, or this person is a mess, or this person has damage from past trauma, and the shitty kind of people are going to find a way to take advantage of that. One of the biggest things I see in people with a lack of self-worth or self-value, we're going to use self-worth and self-value interchangeably for this video because they're essentially the same thing. There's a lot of self-deprecating, right? And self-deprecating means just belittling or devaluing yourself. Like, oh, yeah, but it's okay because I'm an idiot. Or, just things like that. I can't think of any other examples off the top of my head. I'm not very smart, or I'm not very good at this, so that's why, kind of deal. Obviously, there's humor to it, right? Some people are like, yeah, it's because I'm an idiot, or yeah, it's because I suck, haha, and we laugh. It's also used as a self-defense mechanism, and people also use it as a way to like lower expectations of themselves, right? So if I convince everyone that I'm a moron, then when I mess something up, they're like, yeah, that guy's just a moron, it's fine. That's just who he is, it's fine, right? And unfortunately, it's a crutch that, like, it's just such a negative crutch. You can make yourself seem like you're smaller or weaker. You seem like less of a threat. You blend in. But it's funny when I think of it, I think of like self-deprecating, and it sounds like self-defecating, which obviously defecating is pooping, right? So if I'm telling you to stop self-deprecating, maybe I'm telling you to stop self-deprecating. I don't know why I can't talk. So, like, stop shitting on yourself, right? I don't know. I already feel like this video is coming off the rails. I did something a little different, right? I typed everything out this time. Normally I have a notebook right here. You guys can't see it. I kind of write my notes and stuff, but I actually typed it all up on my other laptop and put it up on the TV so I could read it better. And it's just throwing off my whole mojo. Let's see if we can get through it. I'll slow down, relax, reset. We got this. All right, sorry. Okay. Let's talk about the cards a little bit. That Espeon pack didn't have shit. Come on, Jolteon. Jolteon's the best evolution anyway, if you guys didn't know. When it comes to self-worth, our natural instinct is to compete or compare ourselves to others to determine our self-worth, right? Self-worth and valuing yourself, like I said, pretty much the same thing. So if you hear one, hear the other, we're talking about the same thing. There's something called the self-worth theory. It's made up of three main elements of how we determine our self-worth: ability, effort, and performance. Makes sense, right? I'm good at this, I tried hard, I did well. Either that, or I'm not good at this, I didn't try very hard, or I didn't do very well. So it's one of the obvious ways that we look at our value as people, right? That hollow one over there. The problem is it's not healthy to solely base your self-worth on those three factors. Yes, doing things effectively and efficiently has value, but there's so much more to self-worth than that. Sneasel, shout out to Fada. I love that. I did it effectively and I did it efficiently. When I say that about something I did, I know it makes me feel good about myself. It's one of my favorite little phrases, right? There are ways that you can value yourself more. We do have a Dunsparce Pokeball for Team Espeon. We got a Suicune and a Glaceon. You have to learn some self-compassion. Understand things don't always work out perfectly, and be kind to yourself when you fail. That's easier said than done. But imagine if you were around a friend, right? And a friend had these issues. Maybe they didn't do something very well. What would you tell them? You'd be like, hey, man, it's okay. Like, everybody makes mistakes. You tried. Why can't you do that for yourself? Think about it. It's an honest, like, serious question. If we can do that for other people, why can't we do that for ourselves? You also need to learn to set boundaries, right? You need to learn to say no. Your time and effort has value. It's one of the big things I push on this channel. Your time and effort have value. People are going to learn that they can take them for granted, and they're going to see that you're someone who's always willing to sacrifice your time, your effort, your energy for what other people need. And once they notice that, there are those predators out there that are just going to milk you dry. They're going to wear you down until you're nothing. Don't let them do that. The more you tell people no, actually, the more they appreciate when you do say yes. It's crazy. So around the house, just to kind of throw in a little personal stuff here, my wife took a 12-year hiatus from working. She was a great stay-at-home mom, took care of our kids, kept the house up, was very supportive of me, all those things. And she had to go back to work, unfortunately. Like, I don't know what happened. I make as much money as I used to, and for some reason, there's just not enough to go around. Economy, whatever. But she had to go back to work. And I agreed, hey, it's going to be rough for you going back. I'll pick up all the slack, right? I'll cook more. I'll clean more. I'll do all this. And I did. I cooked every day. I cleaned every day. I did the laundry. I took over the kids' stuff, right? I started taking my daughter to school every morning, picking her up every day, doing homework with her, like all the stuff my wife used to do. And it very, very, very slowly wore me down. After 2 years, like I just didn't feel appreciated anymore. I felt like I was everybody's maid. I just crashed out. My self-worth had just deteriorated into nothing. Like I felt like nothing but a free maid. And really affect the way I acted around the house. It affected the way I acted with my family. And yeah, and finally I just snapped. I crashed out, right? I told her how it made me feel. It's funny because I was holding it in, but I came home sick one day. And I just wasn't having it that day. I just laid it all out, right? And had I just done it sooner, maybe it wouldn't have evolved into that. Maybe I could have kept some of that self-worth for myself. So you do need to learn to tell people no. You do need to learn to communicate when it's starting to feel like it's too much. Even now, she's quicker to thank me, and she always makes me feel appreciated. I think it's just natural to take people for granted, right? I don't hold it against her. But when you get used to somebody doing something for you all the time, it's not special, right? All right, you do need to learn to forgive yourself. Now, that can be a hard one. Can definitely be a tough one. Learning to forgive yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. We all do. You just have to learn from them and just don't dwell on them. Just think about it. Every failure is an opportunity to improve. Easier said than done, I know, but it's true. You do need to learn to pat yourself on the back. Acknowledge yourself when you do catch a dub, right? When you do win. You're like, damn, I just killed that. Shout out to me. It's important. It's important to appreciate your victories. Also, learn to not minimize your contributions. Like if you're a part of a team or if something went really well and you knew that you're a vital part of that, don't be like, oh, it was everyone else's work. Don't do that. Don't sell yourself short like that. Duskull. Archulodon. Damn it. We're getting wrecked. We are getting wrecked. You also need to learn to accept compliments, right? If people realize that they compliment you and you're like, oh, I don't deserve it. I didn't do that. I blah, blah, blah. You know what people stop doing is they stop complimenting you because it's annoying. Like, I want to compliment somebody. You know what I want them to do? I want them to smile and be like, hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Not because I want the thanks, because I want to know that what the message I'm giving is trying to get through. And people will stop, right? Once they notice that you don't accept compliments, they'll just stop. Because why bother, right? Why waste my breath? And it's funny because compliments actually mean a lot more to us than we think. Like I know people like, I don't need to be complimented for anything. I don't need an attaboy. But guess what? When they don't get an attaboy, then they're pissed. Or when they finally do get an attaboy, you can see the effect it has on them. So, and inversely, make sure you're giving people compliments for the things they do as well. You also need to learn to stop being so hard on yourself. It's another tough one. It's natural to have negative thoughts about ourselves, right? You just need to recognize when you're overdoing it and stop. It's okay to say, like, I messed up or I didn't do that very well, but that's where it needs to end. And like I said, it can be very tough. I understand that. But it's still something that you can do. You do have the ability to do that. And so the identifying that you're doing it is probably the biggest issue. Once you identify it, you should be able to find out a way to stop it. All right, last pack for Espeon. You do need to remember, too, that people feed off the emotions of others. Surrounding yourself with negative people can lead you deeper into the darkness. Keep in mind the way your negativity may be affecting others as well. Do you really want to be a negative Nancy in a group of positive Pollies? Strive to be the light that may help others who are lost in the darkness. You can do that for people. People can do that for you, and you can do it for them. Kieran, Slowking, Ursaluna. Yikes. No more surprise boxes for me. So what else can you do to find value in yourself, right? Remember to find positive value in otherwise mundane things, such as going to work and providing for your family. Get a little personal here, but at one point I was homeless, right? And feel free to shit on me if you want, because I shit on myself for it all the time. Just an unfortunate sequence of events that were mostly self-inflicted. caused me and my family to be homeless. And so now, now it still bothers me. I know I said be like learn to forgive yourself. I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive myself for that, but now even just the fact that I go to work and provide for my family is something that I take value in. Yes, I'm never going to be rich. Do we have a ton of savings? Do we have a bunch of extra spending money at the end of every month? No, we don't. But that's okay because we have what we need and a little bit extra. And so that's one of the things that you can just, I take a lot of personal pride in that. I take a lot of self-worth in that, value in that. The same thing as being like a supportive spouse. You can always, take solace in the fact that, yes, you may not, I don't know, maybe I can't go out and buy my wife a Louis Vuitton purse, but I'm a supportive husband. I love her, and I try to show her that I do, so I take value in that as well. It's okay to do something out of the ordinary every once in a while to remind them that they matter and you care. Like, it doesn't have to be something expensive. It can just be something thoughtful. Just a little love you note, just a text in the middle of the day. It's like, hey, I just wanted you to know that I love you. Another thing that a lot of people do, got a Vaporeon Pokeball. Is that all we're going to get is Pokeballs? It's crazy. If you're a parent, right, and you're raising your children to be decent human beings, that's a dub. Just raising your kids to be decent human beings is a dub. Not everyone's kid is going to be a rocket scientist. Not everyone's kid is going to cure cancer. Like, kids are going to make mistakes. It's not always a reflection of your parenting. I know plenty of people that have parented the shit out of their kids and they turned out to be pieces of crap. So you can take value in that as well. There's value. Sometimes there's just value in showing up. Like, there's a lot of kids that don't have parents who show up, right? Or there's kids like mine who had a parent who led them to be homeless at some point by making poor choices. And the fact that you're not doing that, congratulations, you have value. Just remember that a lot of the things we do in life are completely thankless, like parenting, right? Know that you just have to know inside of yourself that what you do is valuable. And at the same time, remember to thank others because they may need that validation. Come on, can we get something, please? No more surprise boxes, bro. No more surprise boxes. Well, we got 2 promos and 3 Pokeballs. Prismatic strikes me again. Oh, man. Well, that was a lot to cover. A little broken, disjointed. I apologize. Still trying to figure out the best way to make these videos work. But I do hope that you guys are able to take some of the information from this video and kind of implement it into your lives. I hope it helps you in some small way. Just remember you have value. If you guys ever need to chat, hit me up. If you need me to tell you you have value, I will do that. I will value the shit out of you. I'll value you so hard. I'll value you so hard. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this journey of like self-improvement that I'm on. And I hope you guys are able to use any of the information in this to kind of do the same. If not, that's okay. It kind of sounds cheesy when I say it that way. But now I feel like kind of corny. Keep it 100, Playboy. Is that better? Is that less corny or more corny? I don't know what to end this on. Ride Nuck if you buck. No. Hey, here we go. Grab her by the cloister. There we go. That's not corny, right? I appreciate you guys. I will catch you next time. Love y'all. Have a great week.